Grand Rising, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Is this thing on? Is this thing on? This is Ptah Shakur coming at you on the most powerful of all hours, in the Hour of Power, hour-long live call-in show here, coming from you live from the studios here in York, Pennsylvania. Greetings, wonderful people. We got a wonderful setup for you all. If you all notice, we're getting our stuff together here. We're going to be moving into a lot of different facets, a lot of different conversations. However, for today, what we're going to be revolving around is health and nutrition. I'm very, very pleased to have an owner and operator of the Sonnewald grocery store. Actually going to be stepping in here in a very, very, very short moment. However, I'm going to go ahead and start doing my little introduction. I do have a jewel for today. But before I get into all that, I recommend everybody that can hear the sound of my voice that this particular show is going out through the all out to the WRC TV television studio. You take a seat whenever you want, bro. Love you, God.
Love you. Peace, peace, peace.
Get right here. He's gonna slide in a
Okay.
little bit. So, like I said, this is going out on the WRC TV viewing area, as well as it is posted on my Facebook page, Ptah Shakur on Facebook. Make sure that everything's running real smoothly here. And then later on, I gotta get a whole new joint for that. And then later on, it's gonna be downloaded to the YouTube page. So for all my subscribers and everybody, you're gonna have to wait around a little bit. Like I said, live call-in show. You're gonna see on the bottom of the screen the call-in number 717-846-5067. So I'm going to my little introduction to myself. I got a jewel for the day, and I kick it to my dear brother. He's going to share with you. How you doing today, first of all?
I'm doing great, bro. Every day above ground. Took a lot of losses this week. Man, so I love being here, man. It's my therapy.
Hey, man. This is freedom time. So if anybody has spent any bit of time around me, understand that this program is aimed and operated expressing love and light. We need some feel-good stories in this world today, and so this is the energy of what this broadcast is about, bringing education. And then, like I said, today we'll be focusing on nutrition. But I can start with my little intro. I am Ptah Shakur. I know my place in truth. I know what I am in truth. I know how I serve in truth. I'm free. I'm free. I'm free. I'm in the upper room. God is, God is, God is. I, Ptah Shakur, pledge to always look for the best in each and every person, in each and every one, including myself. I've come from love. I am love, and I choose to look at the world through the lens of love. I commit myself to choosing the upper room towards vibrating at the highest level possible. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am free, I am free, I am free. Behold, I make all things new. So that's a little bit about myself, just embedded in that affirmation that I say every single day. And I implore every single last one of you all is to make sure you're looking at life through the lens of love. And make sure you extend that love. First of all, first unconditional love is the love for yourself. And give a little bit, just a little bit. Give a portion to that in your reflections who are masquerading around outside you as your fellow human beings. So with that, like I said, I'm a Reiki teacher, entrepreneur, role model, youth advocate for all my hooded youth. If you haven't heard it yesterday when you went to bed, if you haven't heard it this morning you woke up, I love every single last one of you all. Every youth that this actually reaches out, you are the most powerful generation. You are some of the oldest souls in existence. You need that guidance. Individuals like us, we're taking that responsibility. We have failed you all tremendously.
Drop the ball.
Drop the ball. Our generation dropped the ball. The generation before us dropped the ball. The buck stops here. We had individuals back in the day in the civil rights era, at the very least. They knew that they were planting seeds for trees that they never was going to see. However, we're turning all that around. I'm a channel, spiritual teacher, a guide. I'm a rebel, here to uninstall cowardliness. I seek to shed light on the daily atrocities that's being orchestrated by the elites that seek control of you and I, and their end game is near. I intend to promote nothing but love and light, education, motivation for all those looking to understand the current energies and the shifts that we're currently living through right now. I'm a dangerous man to the elites and anyone else that chooses to remain willfully participate in your own energetic enslavement. To all my listeners on my Facebook, subscribe. I'm up to 54, y'all. Hey. I'm clapping it up. We gotta start from somewhere, right?
Somewhere.
We're gonna get up to 10,000. We're starting with 54, but
and 54, 5 plus 4 is 9.
Yes, sir. Get it all together. So for all my listeners that's listening, you are eternal beings. You are eternal beings with forever just being a fraction of eternity. You are beautiful, powerful, love-like children of the Most High Divine Grid Programmer. And like I said, all the youth, you all have my love and support. To all my star seeds, my angelic souls, I'm asking everybody to unite in love. I am a happily married man. Can't even get it out. happily married man. Very, very full of love. I would never hurt myself. I would never kill myself or do anything to hurt myself or others. Everyone outside of me is just purely a reflection of myself. So I invite you all to get tuned in, tapped in, turned on. This is the most powerful of all hours, the hour of power. Welcome in, welcome in. So share what you got. Got something for him. I got a little juice for him. A little something. What's on your mind? What's on your mind?
Man, what's on my mind is, man, all the stuff that's going on today. You know what I mean? We gotta start living within the moment. If we keep focusing on the past, we'll be has-beens.
Yes, sir.
So start focusing on your future. Do something today that your future self will thank you for. That's how I feel.
Yes, sir. Light it up, light it up. You gotta do something that scares you.
Be weird.
Be weird. Be on your weirdo. The opposite of success is not failure. Failure is part of success. Opposite of success is conformity. Be yourself, tried and true. I just got a real quick little jewels I want to drop real quick before we bring on our wonderful guests. And we're going to go into some wonderful information that Mr. Kaiser, Mr. Bill Kaiser from the Sonnewald grocery store here in York, Pennsylvania. Wonderful products. I go there all the time. I love it. So this opportunity to kind of get that out. I know you all are hungry for it. I know I have so many conversations throughout the week. It's a shift that's taking place. This is the shift that has been waiting for it's been written about in all these different scriptures and books sharing about this particular time. So it's time to work on ourselves. If you find that you can't be yourself around certain people, you need to give up on you need to find a new success team.
Or find some new company to hang out with.
I put myself in the ring. If everybody in your house is crazy and they don't get what you're saying, they don't see the repeating numbers that you do. They don't have the ringing in their ear. They don't have the will to kind of change their diet off of less meats and move into some more lighter density, something that is actually abundant for life. They might look at you and laugh at you. You over there on your lunch break eating your tofu. Eating things like that. Like, who are you? You grew up. I had some family members tell that to me. You grew up eating pork. You grew up eating do. Like, as though, like, I can't change. You know better, you do better.
Well, I know what they say. Pork, you eat pork when it's like the last thing, the last resort. Right. And then you got to ask for forgiveness. You know what I mean? So that's how I look at it, man. Leave that swine alone.
Leave it alone. But just real quick, I want to make this announcement. Like like I said, the Ptah Shakur, we sharing information to better yourselves, as well as I try not to go into too much, but we got some bad actors that's out here in the world, and they doing some things, and they stepping up on what they're doing, and we stepping up what we're doing as well. As the darkness increases, the show shine the light. And so what I wanted to make mention is that on October 4th, listen closely. I'll give you a moment to run and go get a notepad. Or go get a back of an envelope or something, get a crayon or something. On October 4th, which is a Wednesday, at 2 p.m., the FCC and FEMA will be doing a nationwide emergency test of their systems. So, just putting that bit of information out there. That's something that you're not going to see in the news. I see myself as a bridge explaining these different cosmic changes, as well as I'm an insider, a little bit of a whistleblower. So, keep your eyes on that. We'll go into more of that when more information comes about.
For sure.
Number 2, just a real quick saying or something that I read. This is my jewel for the day for everybody that's listening. It kind of piggybacks what you were saying too. This is about self-control. Self-control is strength. Calmness is mastery. You have to get to a point where your mood does not shift based on the insignificant actions of someone else. Don't allow others to control your direction in your life. Don't allow your emotions to overpower your intelligence. I say that for a reason, y'all. We got a lot of truths and a lot of information that's being brought out at this particular time. And then you have some who are trying to control that particular truths. In a motion of bringing a lot of fear-based information. Find your peace. This particular program, I'm asking everybody to go within yourself. Find the divinity that's inside of you. Find your peace of mind. Your peace of mind is golden. If you the person across the street, you know, with your interactions with them, and you get all outside yourself, you find yourself angry and cussing, and you find yourself behaving in less peaceful ways, you are responsible for your own peace of mind, no one else. So it's very, very imperative at this time that we control our own peace of mind and not jump emotionally to some of these things that are going to be brought out in the next couple of weeks, days, and months. So that's just self-control is mastery. That's the main idea. Make sure you be calm whenever we see these different type of things that are taking place. And anybody knows any little bit about me, I shared a little bit about the changes that the earth is going through. We had a hurricane come up through California.
And flooded them out too, right?
Yeah, then the one on the top of Florida. So all these different things are coming to pass for a reason. Let's make sure we stay calm. Let's make sure we stay analytical in everything that we're doing. Like I said, love and light is all that you're going to get from myself. And I recommend that everybody treat every single last person around you with that love and light.
They said it's that Harpo system, man. It's controlling that.
The heart?
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that. We definitely going to get into that. But let me see what time I got. Now, I guess this is a live call-in show. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to call in. Anything you want to add to the conversation, any questions you have for our guests or any of the hosts that are sharing anything, please check us. Anything that we share, we're coming with peer-reviewed science. We're coming with actual facts. So we love this engaging part. If you don't want to call in, then make sure you say something on the in the comments as well. Before we close out, we're going to reach out to the comment area and see if anybody had anything in there.
What you sitting there saying that? But you saying that, I remember when we had Billy Walker on the other week.
Right.
And we was talking about, this is talking about like with some feedback. Somebody, I think his name was Justin Young.
Okay.
He was saying about how York wasn't the first capital. He said it was he said it was like 4 other capitals before York or something. He was like, so anybody outside of York would tell you that York wasn't the first capital of the United States.
Well, I actually know a little bit about this, being the nerd that I am. So that may be true. I know that it was kind of transitioned around because we're dealing in wartime, so they had to kind of dip it
I know
back.
we were like supposed to be one of the first.
This is one thing that cannot
something
be.
like with the war, right?
Well, it's where the Constitution was ratified here in Pennsylvania. So when it became the foundation of, I believe it's the Bill of Rights, what led to the Constitution. So basically the foundation and the weaving of this nation and country was done in this particular city that we live in, which is York, Pennsylvania. So, yeah.
So that just goes to answer your question, Mr. Justin Young.
So yeah, all your questions and anything you want to know, we can elaborate on. We're willing to do that. But with this, you got a drum roll?
Yeah.
Without further ado, I'd like to bring on our wonderful guest, Mr. Bill William Kaiser. If you can come take a seat right here, sir. And clap it up. Thank you. Now,
how you doing, sir?
The reason why this is such a tremendous opportunity for myself is that I'm born and raised here in York, Pennsylvania. Became conscious of like health and I think at that time was like almond milk and different type of replacements for things that I grew up eating. I moved away. I went to other big cities and things, and I was had the opportunity to come back to York, and I was like, oh man, I hate coming back to York because they're not going to have organic, natural things that I came accustomed to. So I fell in love with your wonderful spot. So that's a little bit of intro. If you could just share with everybody that's at home and for a viewing public a little bit about yourself and about Sonnewald and what the mission is and it starts and all that.
Sonnewald Natural Foods is located in Stoverstown, which is 3 minutes outside of Spring Grove, just off Route 116. We are 8 minutes off Route 30. The only thing in Stoverstown is a cemetery and our store. And it wasn't, to have a store was not one of the original intentions.
Okay.
In 1955, my mother-in-law was grinding grain into flour for people in the family. There were 7 people in the family. Mm-hmm. And someone from one of the neighbors walked in just to say hi and saw what Grace was doing. She said, well, Grace, we have wheat over at our house from our fields. may I bring some of my grains over for you to grind into flour? Yes, and then the word spread. The next thing you know, everybody's bringing their grain from their fields to Grace to grind into flour. And then while people were waiting, because there were 7 people in the family, they had large gardens all around the house. So people would come in and wait for the grain, and then they'd notice there were vegetables in the garden. So they say, "Hey, Grace, are those beets out there? Do you mind if I have some? Would you sell me some beets? Mm-hmm. Would you sell me some cauliflower, broccoli, peas?" And one thing led to another. And it was originally not intentioned to sell anything. Gotcha. But it just grew and grew and grew, and it got to be a very, very busy hobby. It started in her laundry room. That's where the flour mill was, in the laundry room. And then it moved into her husband's shop next door, and he studded out a little space for her, an 8x10. So she was grinding grain into flour there, and she was selling produce. And then she started selling some multiple vitamins and some bulk almonds and bulk raisins. Because there were 7 people in the family, they bought things in bulk. Mm-hmm. Right. So while they're waiting for their grain to be ground into flour, or they got some vegetables, they started buying almonds and raisins and mangoes because they bought things in bulk. And then it just grew and grew and grew. It grew to be so busy that the little tiny room that there could be 10 people in had 20 people in it. Mm. And the customers said, "What do you think about building a real store?" Mm-hmm. So I was a customer in 1988. I married the farmer's daughter in 89. Oh. And we designed and built the store and moved in 1989. Mm.
In the same location?
No, 1996. 1996 is where the location at 4796 Lehman Road. Yeah. 96 Thanksgiving we moved into the new store. So it is an official business with 20 employees. Okay. And it's just like a normal grocery store, except the products we carry, we try to make them a little bit cleaner because some people are sensitive to food additives. Food allergies. Exactly. So there's some people who appreciate having clean food. Mm-hmm. So we have a produce department with certified organic produce. We also buy local produce from people that we've known for 20 and 30 years because we know they do not use herbicides or pesticides. Beautiful, beautiful. So we have a produce department. It's just like walking into a regular grocery store. You come in the door, boom, fresh produce. Mm. And we have books, and then we have supplements. And I think one of the things that we're unique about, other than having a room where you can we grind organic grains into flour while you wait, is we have a refrigerated bulk room with over 300 items that you can serve yourself with a scoop. Mm. Raisins, mangoes, almonds, rolled oats, pastas. Mm. That's kind of something we do that nobody else does. We try to keep the room around 55 degrees to keep the food fresh because the nuts and seeds, if you store them at room temperature, they'll go rancid because of the natural oils.
Wow, I'm learning stuff today.
So there are a list of nuts that we do not keep in the bulk room because the oil content is so high, such as pine nuts, walnuts, pecans, macadamias, Brazils. If we kept them in the bulk room, they would go rancid because it's not cold enough. So when you get your nuts, it's best to freeze them. If you can't freeze them, keep them in the refrigerator because the refrigerator is what? 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43 degrees. That's how you keep nuts and seeds viable. Keep them cold.
Yes, sir. Beautiful, beautiful. I know one thing that really is actually 2 things. Cause my wife and I, we have a business. Of course, you're down in the Central Market as well.
Yes.
And we're down in the Central Market. Our sons and daughters, premium bath and body products. So we would go and we would need, so like you said, we would need certain products that don't cause people to have allergic reaction because our products are really good for people who have sensitive issues. So we were looking all around for some coconut. Oh my God, we went all over the place looking for some coconut powder. Like 100% coconut powder. My wife said it had to be 100% real, you know what I mean? So that's one of the wonderful products that I actually got from you all, as well as your tonics and your what you call your supplements.
Yes.
I mean, do you know? Are you familiar? Can you share some of your are they homeopathic, or you got some homeopathic, some?
Homeopathic is its own little field of healing or therapy. You know, you have your vitamins and your minerals, and then you have your herbs, your plants, and then you have probiotics, which are supposed to feed your gut with good bacteria. You know, you take a probiotic on an empty stomach, it keeps your immune system strong. You take a probiotic with a meal, it helps in digestion.
Like yogurts and stuff, right?
Yes, yogurt has a small percentage of good bacteria in it.
I thought some people say that yogurt is like something not good to eat sometimes.
Yeah, you have to be careful because some of the commercial yogurts have a ton of sugar in them to make them taste really good. The yogurts that we sell have a high percentage of good bacteria, and the ones that are best are non-flavored. When you start flavoring things with sugar, then you're killing the nutritional value, because you know what sugar does. You know, it just compromises your immune system. But homeopathy is its own little field. Like you have vitamins and minerals, herbs, probiotics, homeopathy. It's a whole different way of natural healing.
Gotcha. So everybody who's listening that's listening right now, we dealing with a wealth of knowledge. I know that not just stand there at the Central Market. You normally have these different like flyers, just free information. I look around like, where do you get free anything that's good nowadays? You know what I mean? And I actually looked through some of them, and you know, they're really, really profound. And just to think of the amount of work. And first of all, I'm going to thank you for being there at the Central Market, because you know, having all this wonderful information just readily available. I don't know how many times, I don't know, people kind of walk by. I recommend if you ever do go to the Central Market, stop by, say hi to Mr. Bill after you come from Our Sons and Daughters and getting your wonderful products. And just get involved in your own betterment of your health, because if we're waiting for some type of class or someone outside of ourselves to tell us what to do and what to eat, you know, you see that the rhythm of the world, like you said about how much sugar is in everything, in the cereals. Look at your ingredients. Look at them words on your your ingredient list, and one of the thing that really kind of jumped my eye is what you have a little flyer, and I know you got one as well. Could you tell any individuals about water therapy and how important water is to your betterment of your
Without
system?
water, you're in trouble. Water is like your lubrication system. Your organs work so much better when your body has the correct amount of fluids. Yes, one of the first signs of low water intake is a heart that has to work too hard. Tell you a story. Years back, a customer called our house on a Sunday morning, and the wife said, "My husband is in trouble. We can't get to the pharmacy to get the blood pressure medication. What would you do?" So she was talking to my wife, Willa, and my wife said, get him to drink 4 gulps of water every 30 minutes. And this lady called at 9 in the morning, and then Willa said, "Call me back in the afternoon." The lady called back at 4 p.m. and said, my husband's blood pressure is completely normal.
Wow.
The guy was not a water drinker. If you're not drinking, it just makes everything work harder.
You're supposed to consume 8 cups a day or something like that. 8 cups of water.
There used to be a rule. There used to be a rule. I don't drink a ton of water. I drink when I'm thirsty. But when I get up in the morning, the first thing I do is I drink 16 ounces. Boom.
Yeah.
And within 10 minutes, you know where I am.
Yeah.
I'm on the throne.
Yeah.
I'm on the throne. It helps everything work better. If, for instance, a lot of people were constipated, they don't drink water. We have people come into the stores always looking for something for constipation. My first question is, how much water are you drinking? Oh, I don't drink any water. I had a cup of coffee this morning. You know, I'm talking to them in the afternoon. Well, I haven't had... You have to drink water. So I recommend to them, have you ever thought of when you wake up in the morning, your body has been sleepy for, let's say, 6 to 8 hours, no water, and you get up and you don't give it water. It's dying for water. First thing in the morning, at least 8 ounces. That'll just get all your system, that'll hit the on switch. Then everything will start working in your body.
Some people would rather go to the phone first thing when they wake up.
Absolutely.
That's how it is.
Reach for the Sunny.
And we don't
sugar drinks,
Oh my gosh, yes. We don't have anything against coffee. But when you're doing, 5 to 10 to 15 cups a day, then we need to chat.
Wow.
Because as good as coffee is for you, it's a natural antioxidant. However, when you're drinking coffee, it also dehydrates your body that many ounces of water.
Yeah.
So be sure, coffee's fine. I mean, I drink probably 1 or 2 cups every couple days. But when you're drinking coffee, remember, it's sucking moisture, the good water out of you, and you need to compensate by adding that much more water to your daily intake.
Absolutely. So anybody who's listening at home, if you have any problems with constipation, even about hunger, I read a wonderful article that says you're not hungry, you're thirsty.
Bingo.
So you think that you're hungry, you think, oh, I feel a little rebel double in my stomach. It's time to go ahead and just throw, I can't even say food, throw something in your stomach that don't even have the nutrients.
Play tricks on your mind.
Right.
Somebody even wrote a book. You're not hungry, you're thirsty.
Exactly. And so I shared my little brief experience with it when I was living out of Pennsylvania. I think it was you would drink your body, your however pounds you weigh, you would drink that in ounces as soon as you would wake up. I don't even know where I was, like whatever half of it. But I'm telling you, it was appetite suppressant.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean? Because like you said, you
definitely.
think that you're hungry, but you're not. You flush it all out, and it's really, really good. For those who have difficulty, you might work in a particular environment where you can't really drink water every day. This is perfect. You just drink it in the morning time as soon as you wake up. And that way you will have enough water where you don't necessarily got to be carrying water bottles around, everywhere that you go. So
there used to be a rule of thumb, drink half your body weight in ounces.
That's what grandma
Half your body weight in ounces. That used to be the rule of thumb. But as years go by, for instance, I probably drink about 4 quarts. A quart's what, 32?
Mm-hmm.
It's about 120. I weigh 220. When it's hot out and I'm working outside, I'm going to be drinking more. But on the whole, I probably drink about 2 or 3 quarts a day. But when I get up in the morning, boom.
First thing.
My dad used to do things. He would look at our fingers, and I don't know how true this is. And tell me if you've ever heard anything like this. Because my dad would say stuff that I never heard anywhere else. So I just want to make sure.
Well, this is what dads do, don't they? They tell stories.
So if you look at your fingers, particularly like, I say your pinky, between when your finger begins, that first kind of rung before it goes to that line, if you see lines going up and down, the more lines you see, that means the more water that you need to drink. So I guess in essence, if you're drinking a proper amount of moisture or water, your fingers will be kind of plush, whereas you won't see as many lines. But if you see your pinky and you see up and down vertical lines and deep-setted lines, that's a sign that you need to drink some more water.
Yeah, they say, I remember my dad used to sit there and say, like, right here, like, you get the skin peeling back and stuff like that. He said, your cuticles said this out, how much water you consume, it will go away.
And another sign that you need more water is dry skin. Dry, flaky skin. We say that your skin is like the exhaust pipe of what's going on inside your body. So if you're dry and you're flaky, you're not getting enough water or you're not getting enough good fats. Remember, fat is not the bad guy. There are good fats and there are bad fats.
Yeah, there's confusion out there.
Yes, there's a lot of confusion out there.
How can you determine what's a good fat and a bad fat?
Usually one of the easiest things to remember is, butter used to get a bad rap. Butter is king. Butter is king. Coconut oil is king. I mean, the first two, when people say, well, what am I going to put on my baked potato? I say, put on butter. Well, I don't have butter. Put on coconut oil. It just, you can buy it in a jar just like peanut butter, scoop it out and put it on your baked potato. Some people put it on their toast. Anything that you would put butter on, you can put coconut oil on. Pancakes, French toast, waffles, if butter's not available. But butter is not the bad guy.
Sugar, I think.
Sugar. Yeah, sugar compromises. Sugar and lack of sleep. Sugar and lack of sleep are two things that'll deplete your immune system in no time. Sometimes people are getting sick. First thing I ask them is, are you getting enough rest? What are you drinking? What are you eating? Are you getting rest? Good health is not rocket science. Health, water, good foods, good relationship with your spiritual advisor, good friends, hang around with positive people, or you're in trouble.
Yeah. And it's kind of wild because like different people have to work so hard and so long that when they try to figure that they're going to cheat and get more energy, they figure, let me get this Red Bull or this thing
Monster.
that got
there's
sugar
monster
and all
drinks.
that. Yeah, this is going to give me what I need. Don't eat anything all day.
Right.
And then just take that particular thing in your
Right.
system. So we all out here is that listening. Your health is your wealth. I understand the grind. Ooh, Lord, I know about it. When you want to work and you got to work and you got to do what you got to do, but in the same token, if you don't really put back into your body, you're just going to burn yourself out. And that's what you see people checking out at very early ages nowadays.
Oh, my.
I heard back in the day, you used to live, I don't know, too much, like 90s,
Yeah.
100s, and
When I look at the obituaries, it used to be it was just people who were 80s and 90s. You look now, they're in their 40s and their 50s.
Having heart attack.
People dying are younger and younger, yes. Heart,
take care of
stress,
yourself. So if
stress.
anybody has a question you want to call in, we're about 33 minutes. We're just past the halfway point. Make sure you call the number. It's 717-846-5067. I do have something I want to ask you about, but I don't know if you want to go into one of your...
I would want to say one more thing. A lot of people will come into the store for, hey, I need some energy. You got a pill for some energy? One of the first things I like to do after developing a little bit of a rapport with them is find out what they're eating and what they're drinking. Usually it's garbage. Usually it's garbage. If you want energy, when you pull your car up to the gas pump, do you go into the store and buy STP gas treatment to keep the car running? No, you give it gas. You need fuel. So if you're not eating regularly, that could be one of the reasons you don't have energy.
Right.
Another reason is too many carbohydrates. Bread and pasta has its place.
Okay.
But if that's your main dietary program, you're in trouble.
Gotcha.
A lot of people say, well, what kind of food can I eat to get more energy? Protein. Usually people who are low in energy that I talk to in the store, they're hardly having any protein at all. Some people say, oh, well, what's protein? Oh, I have my protein today. I said, well, okay, what'd you have? I had some toast, and I had a bagel, and then I had a bag of M&Ms and some red licorice. Chicken, turkey, fish, eggs, beef, seeds, nuts, protein. If you have low energy, the cheapest thing that will really nourish your body is protein. And I have people come back saying, I can't believe it. I mean, you can buy hot dogs. Hot dogs are protein. Chicken, turkey, fish, eggs, beef, seeds, nuts, and all the fruits and vegetables. They all have protein. But those are the 6 heavy hitters. If you want more energy, instead of spending money on these monster drinks, which either sugar or caffeine loaded, try just doing more protein. This is not rocket science. Fuel.
So she's saying that those oodles, too many oodles and noodles.
Yes. Too many ramen noodles.
Ramen
noodles.
Excuse me, ramen noodles. Yeah, that won't get you where you need to get. Huh?
I know some people that just do meat diets.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. I know several people who do nothing but meat.
Is that good or is that? Is that good or is that bad in a way?
Pretend that your body is a big science experiment. When people say, well, how do I know what food is good for me? I say, Well, have a meal and see how you feel for the next 2 to 6 hours. If you're dragging or you're not feeling well, then you need to reevaluate what you just put in your mouth. I know some people who are doing nothing but meat, even raw meat. Well, you have to try and see how you feel. You know, a good test is a week. Try something for a week. Just see how you feel. Have a meal and see how you feel for the next 2 or 3, 4 or 5 hours. If you're feeling good, then what you just ate is good fuel. If you're not feeling so hot, then you need to reevaluate what you're putting in your mouth.
Right.
This is not rocket science. You are the science project. Eat something, see how you feel. Ooh, I like that. I'm going to write that down. Pay attention to what you eat and how you feel in the next 2 to 6 hours. If you're feeling great, then you're eating the right stuff.
But even in that, like he says, listen to what your body is asking you for. So even in that, you got to spend some time and listen to your body.
Listen.
Yeah,
Ooh,
sit
listen.
yourself down for 30 minutes and just, and this is part kind of going into meditation and things of that nature as well. You got to know what your body, you can't constantly be busy doing everything that your body's screaming and you're not listening.
Breathe.
Ooh. Okay,
Talk to me about breathing, brother. Talk to me about breathing.
Well, that's wonderful you brought that up because my wife and I, because you know my wife,
Yeah.
and we're in the next couple of weeks we're looking to develop a holistic center here in York, Pennsylvania, in the city area, and have different kind of classes that do certain modalities like chakra, energy, foot detox, and things of that nature. But breathing is so
Essential.
Major.
and how
Essential.
you can train your body when you realize that you're not even breathing right now. Anyways, your body is breathing for you.
Yep.
But for you to put conscious, and it's work, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. If I and I'll have other different shows I plan on doing on the Ptah Shakur YouTube show. Make sure you go to YouTube, press like and subscribe to the Ptah Shakur's YouTube show. Actually sharing different methods. I normally do what's called the 4-4-8 method. Breathe into the count of 4, hold to the count of 4, breathe out to the count of 8, and it would take me maybe 5 or 6 times of doing that before I could get into a zone. Because you'll see your mind will go places.
Yep.
And you'll be thinking, this is stupid. Why am I doing this? But it's very, very imperative to slow your whole process down and listen to your body. Because you ain't going to listen to your body ain't going to listen to you.
And take time to be quiet.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm learning that one.
Why does the TV always have to be on? Why does the radio always have to be on? Why does music always have to be coming from the phone? How about sit? How about sit? Pay attention to your breathing. I tell you, God is good if you just sit.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, God, for loving me. Thank you, God, for blessing me. Take time to be quiet.
Yes, sir.
And be thankful. An attitude of gratitude. That's my mantra during the day. Thank you, God, for blessing me. Thank you, God, for loving me. Thank you, God, for blessing me with my friends. That's my mantra. An attitude of gratitude. And it just makes me feel like I'm okay.
I did want to touch on something I've seen on your website. You have something called seeds, and you have, because you're not just a grocery store like you mentioned. You have other things like you mentioned like trail walks. And
once a month we have I call them the backwoodsmen.
Okay.
You remember the movie Jeremiah Johnson with Robert Redford? Well, he lived on. Do you remember it? What a great movie. Well,
what was that again? What's it called?
Jeremiah Johnson. That's a classic with Robert Redford.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's a classic, Jeremiah Johnson. Once you see it, you never forget it. But we have a fella who's just a natural, and I feel that you could throw him into the woods and he wouldn't need anything. He can do anything. He can survive in the woods. Well, he comes and teaches a 3-hour class, a different class every month at Sonnewald. Sonnewald has 60 acres, and 30 acres are in woods. And we have hiking trails that'll take you down to the stream. If you want some quiet time,
the stream?
Absolutely. You want some quiet time? Go on the nature trail. I have tree stumps cut down by the stream. It takes 15 minutes to go down there. Sit and listen.
Get in touch with nature.
Oh, I tell you, being around trees and quiet is very therapeutic for me. But as far as the community activity, education, Chad Redding comes by once a month for 3 hours on a Saturday, 9 to 12. And this is on the website, and we have flyers at the store. Yeah, it's like going back in time and learning how to focus on what is here that is free.
Yes,
There's a lot of stuff out there that's free.
So listen up, parents. If you're listening, because we got some young people right here that need to know how to get back in contact with nature. And if you get an opportunity to go past Sonnewald, I know my time when I was a youth education director for the summer camps, that's one of the first things we want to do. We want to get them away from these tablets. I see little babies in strollers right now.
Isn't that amazing?
With a big tablet.
That's the babysitter.
Yeah, that's the
babysitter now.
Here, the baby eyeballs are just bugging out of his head. I'm like that. I'm thinking from the radiation. People understand when you got your devices. This real quick. I don't want to go off on a tangent. You got your devices. If you're going to use them, make sure they fully charged. Because if you use those devices and they're very, very low in their battery, the amount of radiation that thing kicks out as opposed to when it's fully charged.
Oh yeah.
We just talked about this.
Oh, go ahead.
We just talked about this the other day at my house. It's just like, that's what I said to the babysitters.
Yeah. But so
The
this
millennials.
is just seeing those screens. And so this is what I was saying. So we would take the young people out to the Sam Lewis Park.
Yes.
Lake Redmond, the Rocky Ridge.
That's beautiful.
Take them out into those environments so they can be, get familiarized with. We used to play in dirt. We used to play in the Hennepin Creek right over there. That was our ecosystem.
Yeah.
You finding worms, you would dig with your hand.
Down Memorial Park.
Over there by Memorial Park.
Mm-hmm.
That's so very, very crucial, I believe, to make sure that our youth are balanced. And and like I said, having that connection with nature.
Absolutely.
I love going for a little nature boy. I've never been that way. I've always been a city boy, but I've been on my nature boy.
You're becoming a nature boy.
I'm becoming a nature boy. And like you said, that quiet, that silence. I know something like I always had the mentality of a young person. I need something to do. Like we grew up with video games.
Yeah.
I grew up in the 90s, late
Early
80s.
90s, late 80s.
Yeah,
late 80s, early 90s.
But now seeing it nowadays for youth is so much more needed for them to balance it out with these different activities and such.
Well, come out to the farm and just walk. Walk in the woods. Walk down to the creek.
You don't need to have I guess
during store hours.
Gotcha.
During store hours,
You just pop up.
then you can come out and just walk. We have people who just come out and they walk, or they'll just camp out, go down and find a flat spot in the woods and just sit. Just sit. It's amazing. You can't hear the cars. When you get down by the creek, you can hear the water. And I tell you that just listening to water is serious therapy for me.
That's why I love fish tanks sometimes.
Yeah.
This sitting there in the middle of the night, just listening to the water come down, hit the fish tank. Right? Peace of mind.
Yeah, I'll pop on some YouTube real quick. Some like sounds of water, sound of like
Yep.
Rain.
falls and things.
Rain.
Like that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So if you're listening, happen to hear the sound of our voice, if you experience some type of any insomnia, you need to find your peace of mind. Like I said, go out into nature. Drink. There's an abundance of information Michelle already shared today. Drink that water. Make sure you get a proper amount of sleep.
And protein too.
And then getting out into the woods and actually experience something, because working constantly and there's a lot of things to be worried about in this day and time. There's a lot of stressors. So I say. So to find ways where you can get that stress out in a way where you don't have to take no products. You don't need to be smoking on nothing, drinking on nothing. Breathing that natural air, like you said.
That's real.
So like I said, anybody, even after this show program is over, if any type of comments that you put on the Facebook page there, we will definitely get to them and we will answer them. I'll have my dear brother check to see if we do got any comments on there. But yeah, thank you for that. Jeremiah Johnson, the Robert Redford movie. And also, Sonnewald. You also, not only do you have the bulk items in the grocery store and all that, you got like a hot food section too. You still got it with the pizzas and things? Man.
In the well, we have the hot foods are in. You buy them in the freezer. Mm-hmm. We do not have a section in the store where the food is hot. Mm-hmm. But we have a freezer. You know, we have a refrigerator. We have an ice cream freezer, and then we have regular freezer. I mean, fish, all your proteins, pizzas, frozen vegetables. So we have three departments that are cold. Gotcha. Refrigerator. We have the raw milk there. We have tons of people who come up from Maryland because you can't buy raw milk in Maryland. So we sell raw milk.
You can't buy raw milk in Maryland?
Yeah, we have a lot of customers who come up from Maryland just for the raw milk.
Wow.
Oh, that's deep. You always got some wealth for now. As soon as I just picked this one paper up, and we were talking about sugar and how I'm learning how detrimental sugar is. You carry a product called agave. Am I saying it right?
Yeah, agave.
Agave. Mm-hmm. Can you share a little bit about that, or what's agave?
I'm not real versed on agave, other than it's a natural sugar. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but there's so many different types of things that you can use to sweeten things. And all this information is free at the store and down at Central Market. Everything that we give away free at the store is free at Central Market. Mm-hmm. There's over 100 items that are free. I mean, you can use beet sugar, brown rice syrup, coconut crystals, date sugar, fructose, fruit juices, honey, maple syrup, maple sugar, molasses, stevia. Stevia, we didn't know anything about stevia. Diabetics taught us about stevia. 0 calories and does not raise your blood sugar. We have it in 10 different flavors. Mm. If you're tired of drinking plain water, put a couple drops of vanilla stevia in it. Mm. Raspberry stevia, lemon stevia in it. Lighten up your water. How exciting is drinking water? Well, buy some stevia in little bottles and put 2 or 3 drops in a pint. It's just like having a sugar drink. No calories and does not raise your blood sugar. Stevia. It's a plant. We sell the plant. When we get plants in the spring, you can buy stevia plants and you can pick a leaf off and put it in your mouth and you think you just put a sugar tablet in your mouth. Mm. Stevia. Stevia.
Okay, cool.
It's 50 times sweeter than sugar. And you don't use it to bake with. Like if you use a cup of sugar, you don't use a cup of stevia. Because stevia is 50 times sweeter. Oh. Sometimes but when you're doing a recipe and you're using a cup of sugar, you need the cup is your volume.
Yeah.
So you can't. There's no equivalent of stevia to the sugar volume of 1 cup.
You have to remake the whole recipe.
Yeah. So you just use some natural sugars. Xylitol comes from a birch tree. That's a natural sugar. Mm-hmm.
All right, we're getting ready to kind of close up here. We got about 10 more minutes, but I do have a dear friend of mine who is suffering from what's it called when you don't have enough iron? Anemic.
Anemic.
Anemic. And is there any type of? Are you aware of any type of product or thing that you could take to get you that?
We sell several products that help supplement the iron level.
Okay.
Meat.
Okay.
Meat.
Red meat.
Red meat is a great supplier of iron. Mm-hmm. Liver is a great supplier of iron.
Okay. Yeah, I think they're on a vegan, vegetarian.
Okay, well, in that case, we have plant-sourced iron products that you can buy.
Plant-sourced iron products, like a pill or like
a
liquid or different types of things?
All 3. Okay. Powders, capsules, liquids.
Well, I will make sure.
And I know they work because women come in all the time. Because they have their monthlies and their doctors are saying, I need to give you a medication to bring your iron level up. Well, if the customer does not wants an alternative, you can come in and we have 3 or 4 products that will supplement your iron levels. And I know they work because the women come back and say, this stuff works. My doctor says my iron is normal.
Mm. Beautiful. Thank you for the stories, and thank you for the bit of knowledge. This is some powerful stuff. This is high level conversation. We didn't come here we do a due diligence and do our homework to make sure that we
very
get
informal
quality content on the most powerful hour, like I said, the hour of power. So thank you again, Mr. Bill. Anytime you want to kind of come back by and you got any type of events or anything, of any type of large scale you definitely want to put out, I'll make sure I'll promote it to all of my different platforms and things of that nature. So you're definitely welcome to come on back. I don't know if you had anything else you want to share before I kind of...
I'm blown. I just know sugar is one of the main things that kind of mess your health up too, though.
That sugar had me hooked, though.
It's an addiction. It's an addiction.
Like I said, it's
Sugar is an addiction.
It was an addiction for real. I was eating well. I was eating beans and salads. I was doing all that, and so I figured like, okay, you gotta have, let me treat your body a little something, a little cookie. Man, I was a cookie fanatic. You couldn't have no cookies around me.
Cupcakes and
I know it's like they developed what's called candida.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like a little reaction or something to that sugar. Then I found out about like agave, and just you gotta be creative, y'all. I know it ain't.
Check your mind. That's kind of like almost like checking your mind.
Yeah, and it's easier nowadays. I mean, back in the day, like back in the '90s and 2000s or so, you really couldn't find these wonderful products that they were few and far between.
I wanted to say something about the availability.
Yes, sir.
We are a natural food store, and we've been around since 1955. But all the major grocery stores are realizing, finally, they need to carry something that's a little bit healthier than what they carry. So you don't necessarily have to think, oh, geez, well, I can't find a natural foods grocery store.
True.
If you go to the regular grocery stores, the people that are running these regular grocery stores got smart. And they're thinking, now, wait a minute. Let's devote a section of our store to good stuff. Yeah. You go into any grocery store now, they're going to have an organic section for produce.
Yep.
I mean, Giant. I go into Giant sometimes if I'm out on the road and I want to eat something. You can go into Giant and they will have sections with regular and then organic. So you don't have to travel hours.
Exactly. It's easier.
And we encourage people. If people call us on the phone and say, well, I can't find any organic apples, I say, go to Giant. Go to Wise. Go to Wise. Go to your family stores. At Kenny's Market in Spring Grove, they have an organic section. So you do not necessarily have to go to a natural foods grocery store. We're big on sustainability. Instead of driving an hour to a natural food store, why don't you drive 5 or 10 minutes to the local market? Because 9 times out of 10, they are now realizing there are a lot of people that are interested in eating stuff that doesn't have a ton of additives in it. Yes, so you can find a lot of the natural stuff that we sell in any grocery store. Okay. Pick up the phone. Don't get the car and start driving around. This is called sustainability. True. Use your brain. Pick up the phone. Call. Hey, do you have any organic produce? Do you carry any vitamins or minerals or herbs or supplements? You don't necessarily. I mean, we have people who come down from Harrisburg.
Man, there gotta be some places around there.
Well, there are. I've been to Wegmans up there. I said, why don't you go 10 minutes down the road to Camp Hill? There's a Wegmans down there. They have what we have. Oh, okay, thanks. Health food stores, Luzerne County. Health food stores, Dauphin County. Health food stores, Adams County, York County. Google it. Yes. The list will come up, and you don't have to drive across town. You might have somebody 5 minutes away. Yes, because all these owners of these stores are realizing people want to pay attention to what goes in their mouth. We love it when you come to our store, but you don't have to. Don't drive half an hour to come see us when you can drive 5 minutes to support your local. We're big on supporting local.
Yeah.
Support your local family-owned stores.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. You hear that, folks? There is no excuse. Like you said, it's all in the mind. So if your body's telling you something, if you're feeling a lack of energy, if you know better, you do better. If you do better, you know better. And so thank you again, Mr. Bill. We're going to go ahead and just close out a little bit. I just want to make a little mention as far as for anyone who was listening. We do want to explore more businesses we're going to have more business showcase. We also had the pecan tree on a couple weeks ago. So if you have a small business and you would like to get on a point where you want to let individuals know the wonderful products and services that you provide, you can please respond to this Facebook message there, Facebook Ptah Shakur on Facebook, or even the email ptahshakur@gmail.com. Also, we want to have a youth, we're working on getting a youth showcase. If you have any young people, the age group I'm not really particular of, but we want to make sure we highlight young people in their community that's actually doing wonderful things. We hear about when they're not doing something, they're doing something crazy, but we also want to highlight them. For instance, they're valedictorian, and whether they graduated looking to go off into college, go off into the military, or any type of achievements. This is your place. This is a community place where you can come in, and we want to celebrate all those highs with you all. As well as I wanted to make mention that this particular program, Hour of Power, is going to be on next Wednesday. It's every Wednesday from 8 to 9, live call-in show. And also make sure you stay tuned for Ptah Shakur Speaks. It's a program that I developed on Monday from 8 to 9. We're kind of starting the bare bones and kind of going over some of what that program has to offer. And everything's like a little bit nuanced and a little bit different. But keep it at lock. Wednesday, 8 o'clock, Hour of Power, as well as Monday, 8 o'clock for the Ptah Shakur Speaks program. How long we got, bro?
3 minutes.
Make sure we go with time and everything. And so, like I said, this is 3 minutes, cool. And so, also, if anyone's interested in just being on the program, and if you have any type of impertinent information that you want to kind of share out, we normally stay in the topic, so we're going to loosen it up a little bit. We becoming kind of hardcore with, as he over there smiling, we can go into some like government conspiracies and all the things going on, Lord knows. Peace out to everybody in Maui. Peace and love. Sending the individuals still recovering from that disaster there. This is, like I said, a program where we want to make sure that we give due respect and love and light to everybody.
Don't forget California, Florida.
Florida.
Just getting hit with that weather.
We living in a very, very tumultuous time, but the way we get through it together, make sure that we're being calm, make sure that we're reaching out, make sure that we're just being as kindful and wonderful as you can. You don't know what that person in front of you, if you're driving down the car and somebody cuts you off in the road, send a little prayer to them. You know
what kind of day they have.
You don't know what people going through. You know what I mean? You hear all the type of things. You hear about COVID popping up down there in Texas and all that. So it's a very, very tumultuous time. So be well to everybody. And so, like we always say, seek your heaven on earth. Find where it is. Find wherever your peaceful spot. If you don't have one, Sonnewald. You can go there. You can walk. Take a look.
Walk in the woods. Go down by the creek.
Walk in the creek. Go out into nature. Find your heaven on earth. If you're inside a household and everybody's crazy and everybody's just doing things and it's not to your specification, because the split is taking place. If you see the last program that we did, the split is taking place. So what you'll find, not everybody's going to be involved in what you're involved in. They're not looking to better their lives. That's fine. You need to cut them off. Find new success team. Me, Peace. If you don't got, hey, we'll be your starter set. You can start with us. And then I can introduce you to my super friends, and there's a tribe of individuals. You might see just us up here, but trust and believe we're not alone. There's other individuals as well that is awakening at this particular time and shaking off any type of shackles of doubt and fear. And we're
gonna form like Voltron.
Exactly, Wu-Tang. I'm Inspector Deck. I'm just the first to kind of kick it off, and I know this frequency is going out all throughout the city and raising more and more individuals up. We're going to take this further. We're not going anywhere. We're here. Anything you can expect is larger platforms. Anybody that is not in the area of Pennsylvania, if you would like myself or Peace, you can roll with me too. We'll come to you. Mm-hmm. Send a car, send a plane, send a train. We will come out and we'll share this wonderful love and light giving message, and so we can all raise up. So we have a very wonderful job to do to kind of turn this planet around. It's up to us. It ain't up to nobody else. So like I said, find your peace on earth, your heaven on earth, And I promise you, you're going to tap into the God within. When that does take place, we all need to make sure we do our part to make sure wherever we at, wherever your zone, wherever your cipher is, make that heaven on earth. We all, each one teach one, we all do this. This particular plane will be heavenly in a very, very short amount of time. So with that, I'll go ahead and conclude the Hour of Power broadcast for this particular week. Make sure you tune in next week. But love and light to you all.
Peace.
Peace.
Love one another.
You killed it, Mr. Bill.
Yes.
Nice talking to you.
Yes. And I'm
Nice
a
being
chef,
with
so
you.
I'll just learn.